Let's see an example of how an estimate is produced in Accura. To start, we click on the New Estimate button on the toolbar, which opens the Estimate window. First, we select the client. The details are filled in from the client database. Next, we give the job a title. Enter the remaining job details such as size, origination, printing, materials and finishing. The details can either be typed or we can use the standard phrase toolbox. This is a database you create of commonly used phrases. You simply drag and drop the desired phrase into the specification on your estimate. The Statistics tab is where we enter the job size, number of pages, and quantities to quote. We can enter up to 5 quantities and a run-on. Each estimate is broken down into sections. By clicking on the Insert button, the section wizard starts. The section wizard takes us through each stage of entering the required information to produce the quote. Firstly, we select the material from a database of your papers and boards. We can then specify the pagination for this section. Accura will automatically calculate the optimum number out of the sheet. The overs profile is then selected. This allows you to select from a list of user-defined wastage calculations, which can calculate on a fixed number of sheets a percentage of the run or a combination of both. Now we have specified the material, we move on to Studio, where we enter any required origination. We can select as many items as required from the Studio table, which you define. In this case, we have selected a labour item and specify the amount of time required. In Repro, Accura will automatically calculate the film and plates needed, so we can move on to the next stage if we do not wish to add any optional items. We now specify the printing information. Firstly, we select the type of ink to be used on this job. Using a coverage formula, the system will calculate the amount of ink required. When we specify the number of colours on the face and reverse of this section, the system will then prompt us whether we wish to optimise our press selections. This will calculate all the permutations of printing this job from all the presses in your tables. Accura will show you the quickest and the cheapest presses and methods to produce this job before you make your selection. At the finishing stage, we can select as many operations as required, once again from a set of user-defined tables. As you can see, the system knows the number up and number of sheets in a pile, so has automatically calculated trimming costs. With Outwork, we can select from a range of items stored in a register. We have chosen a delivery cost. The system has worked out the exact weight of the job and calculated what the courier will charge us. The section is now complete and further sections can be added. On the Workings tab, we can check our workings by category or as a whole. On the Analysis tab, all the costs are pulled together and the final cost of the job is summarised. The costs are displayed for each quantity and each department. Our selling price is calculated either by using your predefined markup profiles, which can be linked to individual customers, or by manually marking up the costs. The Profit tab shows us the profit on the job, the value added, and the contribution figures. Once the estimate is finished, we can choose to do another estimate or print a confirmation letter or estimate analysis. If we choose to print the estimate letter, it can be previewed on screen before sending it to the printer, email, or fax.